Good morning, children. This is the third part of our theme 6, Bhakti Sufi traditions, changes in religious beliefs and devotional texts from 8th to the 18th century. Let us start this part. Religious ferment in North India, religious condition of North India. According to historians in North India, there was a period when several Rajput states emerged. And in most of these states, Brahmins occupied important place by performing rituals. Children, historians have not found any text in North India which could resemble the compositions of the Alwars and the Nayanars till the 14th century. Some historians are of the opinion that this was the period when many Rajput states emerged in North India. There was no attempt to question their position directly. We are talking right now about Brahmins. At the same time, there were other religious leaders who were out of the orthodox Brahminical systems and were gaining ground. Brahmins were given an important place in all the Rajput kingdoms, which were performing a number of secular and regular ritual functions. Probably they were not directly challenged by anyone in the society. At the same time, there were other religious leaders who were out of the orthodox Brahminical systems and were gaining ground. These religious leaders included the Naths, the Jogis and the Siddhas. Many of them came from artisanal groups such as weavers who were well organized. These religious leaders, that is the Naths, the Siddhas and the Jogis, questioned the authority of the Vedas. However, they were unable to win the support of the ruling elites. Remember, they were unable to win the support of the ruling class. Turkish conquest culminated in the establishment of the Delhi Sultanate. The power of many Rajput rulers was thus undermined, and also of the Brahmins who were associated with those kingdoms. Why? Because Turks had come now. The coming of the Sufis was a significant part of these developments. The coming of the Turks and the Islamic tradition. Muhammad bin Qasim conquered Sindh in 711 AD. Sindh became a part of the Caliph's domain or Caliph's territory now. During the 13th century, the Turks and Afghans established the Delhi Sultanate. 13th century equals to establishment of the Delhi Sultanate by the Turks and the Afghans. Sultanates were also formed in the Deccan and other parts of the subcontinent. Islam was recognized as the religion of several areas. This continued with the establishment of the Mughal Empire. Muslim rulers were to be guided by the ulema, which were expected to ensure that they ruled according to the Sharia. Let us understand the word ulema now. In Islam, the ulema are the guardians, transmitters and interpreters of religious knowledge, including Islamic doctrine and law. By long-standing tradition, ulama are educated in religious institutions. The Quran and Sunnah are the scriptural sources of traditional Islamic law. They are the scriptural sources of traditional Islamic law. The Jimmi. The Jimmi word means protected and is derived from the Arabic word Jimma, that is protection. It was developed for people who followed revealed scriptures such as the Jews and Christians and lived under Muslim rule. They paid a tax called jizya and received protection from Muslims. In India, this status was extended to Hindus as well. In general, rulers often adopted a flexible policy towards their subjects. For example, several rulers gave land endowments and granted tax exemptions to Hindu, Jain, Zoroastrian, Christian, and Jewish religious institutions. They also showed respect and devotion towards non-Muslim religious groups. The popular practice of Islam. The 5 pillars of faith in Islam. Those who adopted Islam follow 5 pillars of faith. They are: firstly, there is one God, Allah, and Prophet Muhammad is his messenger, that is Shahada. You have to remember the words in bracket. Second, offering prayers 5 times a day, that is namaz or salat. Thirdly, giving alms, that is zakat. Fourthly, fasting during the month of Ramzan, that is Sawam. Fifthly, performing the pilgrimage to Makkah, that is Hajj. The universal features of Islam declined due to the sectarian practices of the Sunnis and the Shias and the influence of local customary practices. For example, Arab Muslim traders who settled Malabar coast adopted Malayalam language and matrilineal system. The best example of the blending of a universal faith and local traditions is mosques. The architectural features of mosques are universal, that is, orientation towards Makkah and the placement of the mihrab, prayer niche, and the minbar, that is pulpit. There are variations such as roofs and building materials. Now children, a word came, that is Sunni and Shia, 2 words came. What is the difference between Sunni and Shia? The primary difference in practice comes in that Sunni Muslims mainly rely on the Sunnah, a record of the teachings and sayings of Prophet Muhammad, to guide their actions, while the Shias more heavily rely on their Ayatollahs, whom they see as a sign of God on earth.